Did you hit it? Okay, hold on. I have to make my screen bigger or this is going to bother me. Okay, there we go. Hello and welcome tonight. I'm very excited for a couple reasons. First of all, this week I feel like has been incredible to be a part of our company. I'm kind of still in shock. I think there's even a couple of you just within the last couple of days that have been gifted the trip to Mexico. I think that's just so crazy. On top of that, getting our 25% increase in our commission check, having this deal that ends tonight, and then on top of that, rookie bonuses, and then on top of that, earning 4K and getting a $2,000 bonus that's paid out in 2 months. So I can't even, I have the chills just talking about that. I'm not sure if that's the pregnancy hormones or what, but that has me excited. And I'm not even a rookie anymore. I am so just, I think I'm just in awe, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of something like this company. Set apart, I say that all the time about Le-Vel. If you don't believe that, grab hold of it right now, sis, because this company is everything and more for where you want to go. And it provides for us nonstop. They are constantly reminding us that they have our back, and I just seriously hope and pray that you believe that and know that. Tonight is designed specifically for two things. One is to help yourself get to 4K. If you're new to this company, or maybe you've been in this for a year or even more, it doesn't even matter. If this is your first time hitting 4K, this is something that you're going to want to tune in, lean into, write your notes down. I'm bringing 3 girls on that have recently just hit 4K within the last bonus period. And I want them to share with you guys what they think that it was that took them from, start to 4K. Because I think a lot of times, us leaders can get on here and we can tell you what we did, but sometimes you can't relate. I'm bringing people that are fresh. These women are maintaining it and they earned it recently. So I want you to be able to listen to them and kind of take notes from them. The other thing is, if maybe you've already earned the 4K, you're a leader and you have someone on your team that's trying to hit 4K. At the end of this, I'm going to just kind of go over a couple things that being a leader looks like and what you should, be doing to help your team, to help those people under you hit these ranks. We all have a role to play. So if we can all just kind of lean in tonight, I always tell my son, I'm like, turn your ears on, listen up and take notes, and really just be a sponge so that either you can learn how to achieve this goal or learn how to help another achieve it, right? So I have Jenna, Tisha, and Samantha that are going to talk. Let's go with Samantha. You'll be first. But I've asked each of them to just give about 5 to 10 minutes, nothing long, to the point, straightforward. What are your 2 to 3 tips that you would recommend or you think helped you get to that level of 4K? So I'm going to, I don't know, where are you? Samantha, if you can unmute yourself, I don't know if you can. Can you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you had to do that. Okay. Hello, happy good evening. So this was actually really challenging for me. Shay was like, can you pick 3 things that you think did it for you? And I was like, well, my list has 30 on it, but I think the biggest thing for me, so I made a goal. When I hit my VIPs, I was like, I'm not stopping. I'm going for it. So this is my half, because I wouldn't even say this is a thing you can do, but for me, manifesting my goals was huge. Literally telling myself every day, you can do this, you're going to do this, you've got this, was huge for me. And actually, I wrote down that I wanted to rank 4K on my account and my fiance's account. And I don't know where the page is now. I should have opened it. Well, actually, it's right here. And it says, I don't know if you guys can see this. I showed this to Brielle and Jess when it happened. You see how I wrote that out? It originally said on his account in October. So I was going to hit 4K on both accounts in October, and I doubted myself. I wrote it out and wrote November, and I did it. I proved myself wrong. So I can't explain to you enough how showing up every day is so huge. And I think that's my biggest number one, is showing up. No one wants to hear you put your anticipation post out, you hit your VIPs, and then you're quiet. You're not going to earn credit from others. People aren't going to find validation in what you're saying if you're not continuing to show up. One thing I've learned through this is that posting your steps every day is, yes, something you need to be doing, but it's so important to be showing it differently. So don't just post your capsules in your hand or your capsules, a picture every day. Mixed up with boomerangs, hyperlapses, go live, show how easy it is. You really want to show people how versatile the 3 steps is, but simple always. And the other thing along with showing up is staying close to the fire. I talk to my upline. I talk to Brielle. Literally, if I went 3 hours during this period without talking to her, I'd call her and be like, something's wrong because I haven't talked to you and you're not critiquing me and you're not telling me what to do, and I need you right now to just tell me I'm doing a good job. And then like the next day she'd be like, okay, how do you feel? And I'm like, I'm awesome. Like, just come back to me in like an hour and tell me I'm still awesome. And that is huge. And I tell my girls that all the time. If you don't think you're annoying me, annoy me. Keep messaging me. Keep talking to me. So if you haven't talked to your upline in the last hour, when we get off this Zoom, go talk to them. If you haven't talked to your downline, when we get off the Zoom, go talk to them. Because you might think you know everything, but you're a sponge. You are always learning. You are always growing. There's always more to know, whether it be your side sister, your upline, your downline. You can learn from your downline. Like, my girls teach me things all the time that I don't really know, or that they might be doing differently. And being open to interpretation of, hey, can you check out my Facebook? Tell me what you think. Can you check out my Instagram? Tell me what you think. Do you like my story? And don't take it as, if someone tells you they don't like something, don't take it as, that's not good. Like, I'm doing something wrong. Take it as, okay, I did this. It was good, but it could be better. You can always do better, show up better, do something better. I think the thing for me that got the most attention was my before and afters. We all start somewhere. Okay. And most of us, I hated my befores. I literally took them and I was like, that's disgusting. I never want to look at that ever again, because it was terrible. I looked terrible. I was not even 2 months postpartum. Hello, postpartum after 2 babies body, not fun. And I felt terrible. But the girls were like sharing their before and afters. I think I was only 2 weeks into my system. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to see any difference. And I take a picture and I put them side by side and I messaged the group and I was like, guys, I don't think you're ready for this. I was like, I'm not ready for this. And my before and after just 2 weeks in was crazy. My body, when your body is happy, it shows it. And my scale didn't change, but my picture was insane. I was glowing, my hair looked better, my skin looked better, and my waist literally was like 2 inches smaller. And when the first time I posted that picture, people were like, no way does something make your body that happy. How are you actually feeling? And sharing that was so huge. No matter how much you might like what you're seeing in the mirror, someone else, 100 other people don't like what they're seeing in the mirror. So by showing your insecurities and showing how you're gaining security is huge, because 90% of women don't like what they see in the mirror. Even when we lose 30 pounds, we don't like what we see in the mirror. So sharing that vulnerability helps others feel like they can come to you and be true with you, and you can be true to them. My number 3, I feel like that was like 2.5 and a quarter and 3/4. But my biggest thing that took me a little bit was my lives, and they're scary and not everyone is good at them. Some people snap and they're like, I can talk about anything, but not just going live, but I would schedule lives. Like, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday and Thursday, if I felt compelled, I would go live and not talk about Thrive. I would just talk about I would mix it up, because that really allowed people to get to know me and know that I'm a genuine and honest person, that I'm not just pushing product. I'm not just trying to push, gain money. I'm trying to change people's lives and help people feel as good as I do. And help people click. There's that moment where someone who's been watching you, I watched Brielle for 60 weeks. I went back and checked, 60 weeks. I asked her about mini experiences 3 times. And I don't know what it was, but one day the puzzle was together, and that was it. That's all I needed. I was a day one thriver. So go live, share your journey every day, and know that if you get 10 no's right now, in 2 weeks, you can get 20 yeses. You can go 4K in 2 days. When I ranked 4K on both accounts, it was the 21st, and I had, I think, 1,300 on one and 2,200 on the other. And I freaking did it. So when I tell you it comes down to that wire, it comes down to that wire. And you just need to push for it, stay close to the fire, and show the heck up. And that's, I can't stress that enough. Just keep showing up. If people aren't talking, if less people are viewing your stories, keep showing up, because there's someone who's watching, who's waiting for you to fail, who's waiting for you to give up so they can say, oh, good thing I didn't try that. Don't ever be the one who gives up, because they're going to find someone else to thrive with.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. Like chills, and I feel fired up. Thank you so much for sharing that. And
thank you.
I hope you guys are taking notes, because this is so good. Even as like someone who's been in it for a while, just to remember that kinds of stuff, to remember like what it feels like to really start out in the best way possible. So I love that. Thank you so much. Jenna, you are going to be up next. You can just unmute yourself and then just start sharing. You got it? Or do you need me to unmute you? Oh, I don't know where she went. And can you unmute her, or how do I unmute her?
I unmuted her microphone, so she should be able to talk.
Okay, can you talk? Can you guys hear her? No?
Okay, I got it. Sorry.
I'm like, I don't even see her. Like, what happened?
I tried to unmute myself, and I had to go through my settings and like turn on my microphone.
Oh, okay. We found her. Okay, take it away, girl.
Okay, so Sam, you totally just killed that. So I'm just gonna kind of bounce off your ideas. I kind of want to bounce off the point that you made with manifestation, because if you don't believe that you can't hit 4K, then you're not going to hit 4K. We all preach personal development all the time, but I cannot stress to you enough how important that is, because you have to fill your cup before you can be a good leader, and it's all about duplication. So you have to be a good leader so you can pour into others and help them become good leaders, and it's literally like a trickle effect. So personal development is so important. Like, it doesn't even matter what it is. Like, practice gratitude, listen to podcasts, motivational speeches, pour into the team page. There's a training on everything in the team page. So if there's something you don't understand, if there's a topic that you think you need more guidance with, literally search it in the team page and you will find something that comes up with that. It's literally all about being a sponge, and it's a giant learning process. You're going to be learning throughout this entire journey. Whether you're in your first month or you've been in this for 4 or 5 years, you're still going to be learning things. So that kind of goes into the whole manifestation thing, and just truly believing that you can do it, because you can say all day long, like, I'm a 4K, but if you don't truly believe it in your head, then you're not going to hit it. Brittany says all the time, your mind has to get to the destination before your life or your business ever will. So that is really, really important. I wanted to kind of touch on posting and being yourself. So Lindsay always stresses the 5s list. If you're brand new and don't know what that is, search it in the team page. You should have a 5s list for your business, a 5s list for your brand, which is who you are, what separates you from everybody else, and a 5s list for the products. So when people join this business, they don't join Thrive. They're going to join you. They're going to join you because they relate to you on a personal level, an emotional level. There's just something about you that they know, like, and trust you. So you have to just show up and be you. You cannot be anybody else, because if they want to join Brittany because she has a bold personality and they like that, then they're going to join her. If they join me because they really like that I'm into fitness and they can relate to that, and they're going to, you know, join me. They're going to join you for who you are. They're not joining the business. So I just really wanted to stress on that, with just showing up and being who you are, being vulnerable, sharing your struggles, because you never know who else is going through that same exact thing. And by being vulnerable, that is just another way for somebody to connect with you. And it's literally all about connections. People are going to join you when they know, like, and trust you. So always remember those 3 things. And that kind of goes into my next point is, let's see, I have, when she said make it short and sweet, I kind of cringed a little bit because I have a front and back page of notes. So I'm just kind of looking over this here to see if I can make it quick. So do it messy and do it scared. I wanted to point that out real quick. When you first start, it can be kind of nerve-wracking to, you know, go live and put yourself out there, make posts, be vulnerable about your struggles. But it's not going to be perfect. You cannot operate out of perfectionism. That is something that I really struggled with, and it took me months to get over it, actually. And once I switched that and I stopped operating out of perfectionism and I just went out there and just did it, then that's when my business really started, like, skyrocketing, because people don't want to, they're not going to relate to somebody who has perfect pictures, perfect hair, perfect makeup, you know, Louis Vuitton purse, you know, all of that stuff. They're not going to relate to that. They relate to me because I show up on my page with my hair in a messy bun, my kid on my hip, you know, trying to do dishes, doing this, laundry in the background. Like, that's just my life. So, you know, that still ties back to just being yourself and being who you are, because that's what people are going to relate to. So let's see. Conversations. I wanted to touch on that as well. That is probably one of my number 1 tips, is you have to be talking to people. People aren't going to join you unless they know, like, and trust you, just like I just said. So follow-ups are so important. And when I say follow-ups, I don't mean hopping in their inbox every day and asking them, hey, you ready to order? You ready to sign up? Follow-ups is as simple as just engaging on their pictures, on their stories, you know, just keep building that relationship, because I can't tell you how many people I've signed by just talking to them once about the business. It wasn't really their time, and then I just kept interacting with their posts and their stories and things like that, and then one day they just messaged me and said, hey, I'm ready, what do I have to do to sign up? So that is so important, is follow-ups. Em has a really, really good video in the team page. She explains her organizational process for potentials. I completely adopted that idea, and it has changed my business so much, because I can't tell you how many times I've had a conversation with somebody that was interested in the business, and then I got lost and, like, you know, got bumped all the way down to the bottom of my messages, and I forgot about them. So make sure you keep a very organized list of everybody that's interested in the products or the business, so it's really easy to do follow-ups that way. So that is also really important. My 3rd tip is kind of one big jumble of things, but I just wrote: ask questions, ask for help, learn, utilize your resources, and follow in the leader's footsteps. When I hit 4K, like, I was literally in Brittany's inbox all day, every day. Like, I was sending her screenshots of every single conversation I was having. It doesn't matter whether it was about business or products. And that's how I learned how to correctly lead a conversation, is because she taught me all of the right ways to do it. So lean into your upline 110%, whether you're in your first 14 days or if you've been in it for 3 months. Like, that is what we're here for. You need to be in our inboxes. We want to help you. We want to guide you so you can seal the deal correctly, because it's really all about wording. So you don't want to word vomit. You don't want to, you know, just pour out so much information that they can just go Google, Thrive and get all the information they need, and then they won't have to ask you any more questions. So really, wording is all it is, and your leader will really help you with that. When it comes to like stories and sharing the opportunity, when I first started, I had no idea how to use Facebook or Instagram stories. I never posted on them before. So I just watched our leaders and how they did it. I did not copy them, but I watched their stories and how they did things. And literally that's how I learned a lot of the things that I know now with like posting and stories and everything like that, because I followed in our footsteps leaders and I just mimicked them and learned through them. So that is one of my biggest tips as well, is just make sure you're following our leaders on your social media so you can see how that they do things, because obviously they've already been through this. They've already hit 4K. So they understand like all the things you are going through right now, and they've already been through this chapter. So conversations, staying consistent with your IPA, showing up every single day, even if you don't want to. I have the goal to talk to at least 10 new people every single day. If it's like 10 o'clock at night and I still haven't had those 10 conversations, I will make sure I get those 10 conversations in, because that is so important. So consistent conversations, showing up, IPAs, ask questions, be a sponge, and just keep learning. That was probably a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but I tried to make it short and sweet. I hope you got some good nuggets out of there and I didn't just ramble.
No, that was really, 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 really good. It was way more than 3 points, but it was all really good stuff. And definitely, I watch your stories all the time, and I'm like, they're very intriguing. They show all sides of like everything that you offer. It's not just all Thrive. It's who you are. And I love that you, and even Samantha and Tisha, who's going to be on next, you guys do such a good job of that 5-5-5, right? And blending it all in. And really honestly giving your audience something that they can talk to you about, like not just about Thrive, but maybe that would lead that to them. So if you guys don't follow these girls, and like Jenna just said, like mimicking, that is something that I honestly love when people do that. It's like they see something, they might ask a few questions, but then they just take initiative and figure it out and find out how to do it. And that is what I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but that is what allows you to be a duplicatable like leader and like create a duplicatable system. So I love that you said that. And I love that you said, do it messy and do it scared, especially when there's a bonus on the line. We ain't got time to make everything perfect and pretty. And every post doesn't have to make like the best sense. It just needs to be out there. And I love that you said that. So last but not least, I'm bringing Tisha on. And can you mute? Okay, thank you. And then Tisha, can you unmute yourself?
I just unmuted myself.
Okay, perfect. We're going to have you talk and give us your 3 pointers or 10, whatever you got.
Okay, so one, my brain's all over the place right now, but I hit 4K, I think in 47 days. My sister like hit it like 10 days before me, and we both started thriving at the same time. So I asked Shay a lot of questions because my sister and I were both still so new, never been in this industry, didn't know what to do. But I think like one of the biggest things that I did was I come from like a back, like, well, I've been a stay-at-home mom for like 3 years. But before that, I worked in property management, and I knew about attraction marketing a little bit and asking those open-ended questions, like really like getting a conversation back and forth with people. But also too, like another thing that I did was right after I hit 4K, one of my promoters hit 4K as well. What I did was I just tried to be like their biggest cheerleader. Like, I am here for you. I might not know everything. But if I don't know it, I'll ask, I'll find out. We can do this together. Like, I was checking in with my promoters every single day and really just engaging back and forth with them and doing that. One of the things that I've done to like help myself maintain 4K is, you guys, I know this sounds like really silly, but if you do not have your pages on public, make them public. And comment on like Lavelle's page on Facebook. I last month had somebody get in my inbox because they saw my comments. They saw more than one comments, and when they saw my comments, they went and they stalked my page, sent me a message, and I was able to like sign a new customer that way. With Instagram, use hashtags. Last week, I Thrive Sculpt is a great one because I've actually had more than one person follow me, and I have like 2 conversations going on right now because of Thrive Sculpt. I had somebody like friend me on Instagram last week because they saw my Thrive Sculpt, and they work with another company and they ordered the 3-step system. Another big thing I think that has been really good for me is I am like really bad at following people, but I found that if you go through like your yearbook or find people that you went to high school and elementary school with, people that might like remember you and you haven't maybe talked to them. Like, I have been graduated for like 20 years. So it's like people are intrigued. They want to see where your life is going. And I've been able to sign so many customers because from like people I went to high school with, just because they're curious about what my life is like, and they see this and they see that I'm being real and they see that I'm being truthful and they see that I'm just sharing like how good I feel compared to how exhausted I was. So I think that that's like what has worked for me, is really just showing up every single day, being your or blah, you guys, I can't even talk tonight. Being yourself and just being there for people, your promoters underneath you, and just keeping those conversation and the dialogue even going with my customers. I follow up with all of my customers. I go through a list. I have a list that I go through. I check on them a couple times a month just to see how they're doing, what's working for them. If there's a new product, that's like, those are some of the things that I've done. And I've like been able to like build different relationships with people. And I get things like all the time, like every week. But that's pretty much about it. Just being consistent. If you're looking, add people from like elementary and high school, like people that want to know what's going on in your life. And that's about it, guys. Short and sweet.
Thank you. I think the thing about you, Tisha, is that you are so consistent every single morning with your 3 steps, but like not in the same way. Like every day you're adding something different to it, or you're telling a different story with it, or you've got, a different routine happening, and like you go live and you bring your sister on lives, and like just doing things like that, that I really saw. And I know that your audience saw, they just kind of saw that momentum and catch fire, and you just kept going with it. And like you said, 47 days and you were 4K within joining the company. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Sam and Jenna and Tisha. That was amazing. I hope you guys were taking notes, because that was some really, really good stuff. And I just want to kind of quickly go over, we won't keep you much longer, just like, what I do, or what I hope like as leaders that we can do for our team. The biggest thing is that our company designs things for us to build as a team. Like if you were on that call, like you heard that, like that's how it's designed. Like, I love that. It's not all on us. It's not all on our shoulders to get to our next place. We do it together. You do it as a team. You do it locking arms with others and helping them. And for me, I know that has so much to do with the success that I've had. It's not on just me, but on the fact that I've been able to lock arms with women and help them. So when you hear all 3 of these women say, I reached up, constantly talking to my upline, constantly asking questions, constantly having that verbatim. That's what we're talking about. Are you, as a leader, open, and does your team know that they're able to come to you and have those conversations with you? Or have you just signed someone and just counted them as a number? Like, this is where it's eye-catching. So if you want to get to that next level, you have to remember it's not about just your hustle. Your hustle helps another. And so as a leader, I realized, hey, this is really picking up speed. You know, when I started, and I went 4K and 12K in the same month, and then I went 4K on my husband, all in the same month. And it's because I realized helping another helps another, helps another, helps another, right? So when we say, okay, like getting to that 4K level, when I went from VIPs to 4K, I realized it wasn't about me anymore. It was about helping someone else do the same thing, right? So helping your promoters who come in and giving them everything you could possibly give them. Letting them know that you're available, letting them know that you can help them and walk them through conversations. And even if you don't know, that's where you reach out to your upline, right? That's where you learn. That's where you grow. That's where you absorb. You can't expect to be available to someone, or you can't expect to grow or lead a team if you're not actually learning and growing yourself, right? So, you know, I went 4K within my second month. I didn't know everything. Not a damn thing. Like, I literally was like, what is even happening? But Jess and I laugh about that because we kind of were doing this at the same time, and we just kind of leaned into the training, right? We have training on our page, and we leaned into that. If we had a question, we would reach out to someone who knew the answer. And that's what I want to make sure, that you're creating an atmosphere within your team, within your promoters, that they feel like they can reach up to you, they can reach out, that they can have those conversations. You know, if you've hit 4K and you have people on your team that are new and VIPs and whatever, you realize the importance of having that open conversation with them, and you realize how important it is to be available, but also to know what you're talking about, and to know that, like, you can walk them through this because you walked through it yourself, right? So in order for you to keep growing in the company and to keep hitting ranks, you need to be helping others hit the ranks. So as much as this bonus might not be for you, it really is. Like, anytime that someone's winning on your team is when you are winning. You are showing your team what it's about and what it looks like. So for me, I'm going to give you guys some just like things that I do that I challenge myself. Waiting room. It's huge, guys. I don't know if we even really talk about this. The waiting room is such an asset. Like, I don't know if you've ever been from another company, but those damn charts and those boxes literally could have done me in, and I almost died. Like, they were just terrible. But I love that this company makes it so easy, so simple to help another. And so something that I love to do, like, seriously, it makes me so happy, is to be able to hustle all month long alongside of my team, build my waiting room. And if you don't know what waiting room is, it's any promoters that you sign. Within the month, they go into what is called your waiting room. You can keep them there for up to 60 days. Excuse me, I have a little tickle in my throat. Up to 60 days before moving them. But this is where it gets so cool. Like, when you fill your cup up, you're able to help fill other people up, right? And so I found this to be like the biggest blessing when I started out, and I realized, oh my gosh, so like, not only am I helping like build my volume by enrolling my own promoters, right? But now I have the opportunity to, like, at the end of the month, match someone's hustle if I wanted to, right? So if you have someone on your team who's hustled heart and soul all month long, and they get to that very end, and that's the finish line, and you've got a promoter that you can move to them to push them to that next level, like, what, that is so incredible. And that is what pushes me. I freaking love that. I don't know if everybody utilizes that, but seriously, I think it's such a big thing. It's such a blessing. It needs to be used. you need to be able to share and grow. And that's how we do it together. And so anytime that I'm hustling, it's because I have a vision in my mind. Hey, I want to help as many people at the end of the month, if I possibly can, match their efforts. And so that's why we hustle alongside our team. We don't just ride off of our teams. We don't just, sign a few, get our 2 customers, and then say the rest is, whatever comes in. No, hustle your heart out with your tribe. Hustle with them and show them, hey, I'm matching your efforts because I want to help you get to the next level. Because guess what? I want you to do the same thing for your people on your team, right? That's how I like to duplicate things. That's how I want my team to know, like, we have each other's backs. So the waiting room is huge. The other thing is credits. If you have credits, that's what I like to do. Like, we just did this the other day. I was just like, okay, Jess, who's got the top PPA from our team? Like the top 4. And we found top 4, and I just like sporadically just mentioned it in our team group. And I was like, $25 credits are going to each one of you. And then the one with the top PPA, she's getting a free bottle of Sculpt. Like, I want you guys to know that I see you, I value you, and I'm going to help you, push you, and keep you going, okay? So if you have credits to help your team, to give them something else that they can utilize to keep growing. The other thing is, like, just being able to help them maybe hop on a live, maybe help them with the conversations, maybe go over the different like charts, or how to hit a VIP, or how to run, just different things. Maybe going to their Instagram and being like, okay, this doesn't really appeal to the audience I think you're trying to appeal to. Having those conversations with people on your team. Yeah, it's tedious. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it takes energy and effort. But guess what? That's how we build teams here. That's how we stay consistent. That's how we maintain. That's how we get people on our team hitting bonuses. And when someone on your team hits a bonus, that means it's going to explode. More people are going to see that. They're going to be enticed by that. They're going to want to be a part of a winning team. Like, that's just how it is. So don't think about just you at this point. If you're thinking that way, chances are you're not going to maintain. You won't hit that next level. You just won't, because you're not sustaining, you're not giving your team enough. And that has a lot to do with constantly doing what these girls talked about tonight, showing up, sharing your story, knowing your 5 things, knowing the things about this business, knowing how to hit VIPs, knowing how to have a conversation, knowing how to add people, or, use hashtags, all of that stuff. Because the more you can learn, the more you can pass down to your team, the more they can utilize, the more they pass down to the other people. So, if you have been in this company for a while and you're like, okay, why don't I have a team? A lot of times it's because you're not pushing yourself to branch out into a leadership mentality where you don't just think about yourself. You think about how you help another person, and you lock arms with those women. And like, the people on my team, I mean, they're there. I love my freaking tribe. Like, seriously, there are people that come and go, but majority of the girls on my tribe have been there and have not left. They constantly are maintaining, they're showing up, they're growing, they're having bonus earners, they're having people earn trips. And it's because we are creating and cultivating a team that wants to see others succeed. And so hopefully that inspires you. Hopefully that puts a light under your butt, because you need to show up for your team. Don't expect your volume to be there if you are not giving them every bit that you can give them. And that goes back to you guys too, making sure that you're having that conversation. Because I don't go chase people down. I don't. My team knows that. If they need something, they come to me. I'll check in ever so often, especially if someone's being quiet and things like that. But if you have questions, you need more, you want more guidance, you need more help, you need something, you go to your upline, you have those conversations. Like they said tonight, be a sponge, absorb it and apply it, and don't leave anything on the table. This month is literally a life-changing month. Let's be honest. I feel like every month with Lavelle is a life-changing month, but 4K, a $2,000 bonus paid out from this month or the next 2 months. Like, what could $2,000 extra give for you? Not only that, what could that momentum give to you and your team? Could that take you to 12K? Could that bring other people on that have been watching you? You know, every time you go up in the company, you're going to grow your audience. You're going to grow your amount of people that are coming in your inbox. Because like like Samantha said, people are watching you. They want to see you fail. They're waiting for you to fail. So if you keep showing them, hey, I'm not failing, I'm going this way, by the time you get to 12K, they're going to be like, okay, actually, can you share a little more with me? Like something's different here. And it's like, yeah, I would love to. And then before you know it, you're next 40K. You just never know. But, really challenge yourself and challenge yourself to show up as a leader you want to be. Even if you're not 4K yet, start showing up as the 4K leader that you want to be, because that's going to take you to the 12K and vice versa. Like, just keeps going, keep showing up and keep growing and keep being available, keep being a sponge, be teachable, and be consistent. And I swear, like, you will see a difference happen. So that is all I wanted to say. I think this was a great Zoom. If you know some people that weren't on it, make sure you tag them in this after it's posted. Get as many 4Ks and leaders on here as possible. That way we can really, really see a boom. I mean, these are our boom months right now. And it's starting off crazy. So let's just keep duplicating and keep multiplying. And I don't even know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. So, all right. Love you guys and have a good night.